The answer is different from one university to another university.
每个大学的情况都不一样。
Harvard, for example, Harvard was built or founded by a Puritan
哈佛大学是由清教徒所设立的，
who moved from England to the Massachusetts Bay in 1630.
在1630年代从英国到麻省的地方，
And within 6 years, Harvard University, Harvard College was already built.
在6年内他们就成立了大学。
But around by the 17th century, early 17th century, in early 1700,
但是在第17世纪的时候，
due to its desire to open to a more pluralistic society,
他们觉得社会比较多元化，
so Harvard president became one of the president was a Unitarian.
所以哈佛大学的一个校长是神体一位论者。
So because of that, a lot of the Puritans at the time, the more conservative Puritans, moved to Connecticut and then founded Yale University.
所以在那个时候，耶鲁大学因为反对者就离开，设立另外一个大学。
So Harvard University becomes more secular within just 70 years.
所以在70年里面，哈佛大学就成为比较属世的大学。
The Presbyterian also founded a college in New Jersey, now called Princeton University.
在 New Jersey，长老会设立了 Princeton。
But also Princeton University also later become more secular for another different reason.
但是他们后来也变成比较属世，有另外一个原因。
One of the one of the person who analyzed the history of the American colleges said that one of the reasons is because they misunderstood the relationship between common grace and antithesis in the Reform thinking.
他们对归正福音、普遍恩典跟凡论之间的理解是有
So we
差错
understand in
的。
our theology there is antithesis between believers and unbelievers.
对我们的神学论里面，我们认为信徒跟非信徒是有分别的。
This antithesis is already established in Genesis chapter 3 verses 15.
在创世纪第3章第15节里面，我们看到
There will be antithesis between the descendants of the serpents and descendants of the women.
就是蛇的后裔跟女人的后裔之间要彼此为敌。
So we understand there's antithesis in between believers and unbelievers.
所以我们相信信徒跟非信徒之间是有紧张关系的。
But the other problem is the Reformed people also believe in common grace that God gives blessings to all people regardless of whether they are Christian or not.
但是归正信徒也相信上帝有普遍的恩典，也是赐予非信徒的。
So even unbelievers, they also have wisdom, technology, science, and many other things. They can do a lot more goods in the society.
所以非信徒本身也能够为社会招来很
So how
多
is it
正面的
possible
贡
that
献。
we learn, the problem between faith and scholarship is always, at the end, is how we relate to unbelievers.
所以到后来，我们如何对待非信徒是很重要的一件事情。
So regarding the Princeton University again, and it started very well, but because it was not very critical to the wisdom of the unbelievers, then their antithesis was not stressed on that university.
所以在 Princeton 里面，他们忽略了非信徒跟信徒之间的这一种的关系。
The Free University of Amsterdam went for another reason.
Free University of Amsterdam 变成属
1880 was
世，
founded.
在1880年被设立。
But because of its desire to be a research-based university, a world-renowned research-based university.
他非常希望成为世界有名的研究学院。
So around 1970, it had to change its policy. Before, it has to accept donation from the church members.
所以在1970年代的时候，他们改变了策略。之前他们是接受教会的奉献，
Since 1970, it opens for the funding from the government.
从70年代开始，他们接受政府的津贴。
Before 1970s, most of the students, or I would say all of the students, are Protestants.
70年代以前，所有的学生都是新教徒。
But because since they have now received funding from the government, then since 1970, they have to open for more other people, students and also scholars in that university.
所以，但是现在你接受了政府的津贴，你就要接受所有其他的地方的非信徒的
All
学
of these
生。
are oversimplification. There are a lot of other reasons.
当然，这是非常简化的说法，有许多错综复杂的问题。